People are coming in and they're looking for the shock factor. They're looking for the crazy reaction about the hard-hitting joke. Let them fly. It's all in the efforts of being funny. It's that simple.
Now, how many of y'all saw that roast? I didn't see the roast of Kevin Hart. I saw some clips. I saw that when Cat Williams was up there, then he tried to corner Cat Williams about ending a beef, because Kevin Hart needs Cat Williams now more than ever. Kevin Hart's media company has gone down the drain. This dude was spending way more money than he probably was making through his media company. Y'all remember those videos he did sitting in the cold tub? I think that was a part of his media company. The Netflix movies he was doing was a part of it. I'm sure he was making money, but he was spending a lot of money. But, Kevin, he did this roast, and I find out the dude sold his name away. Whenever you sell your name away, it's over. Jay-Z sold his name rights away. That is a horrible sign. When a celebrity, who I'm sure Kevin Hart makes a lot of money. The dude is a traveling comedian. He's done big venues as a comedian, right? He's done movie projects, right? He has endorsement deals, but he's still signing his life away. Like, how did it get to this? It's because Kevin Hart is not a good leader. I think if Kevin Hart focused on himself, he'd do well, but running a company is not his strength. And the fact that he built something that crumbled so quickly shows you that. It shows you that. And this is what happens when you're out here trying to, they say he was in this sprawling complex for his media headquarters. Like, bruh, you gotta make sure that the money's coming in first. And I'm sure it was, but again, when you're hiring a bunch of people, you're betting on the podcast game, you gotta have actual talent. People want to listen to talent. They want to listen to people who make them want to listen. Right? They bet on that. That didn't work. And now, where does Kevin Hart really go from here? You're selling your name away. It's according to Complex. Kevin Hart has reportedly sold his name and stake of his Heartbeat empire to Authentic Brands Group concerning some of the comedian's employees who are now anticipating significant company downsizing. According to Bloomberg, in the last year, Heartbeat has frequently laid off executive members after being developed in 2022. Why do you have executives? That company should be ran by you and a trusted group of maybe a few people. You don't need to have like a board and executives. That's the problem right there. The company, which was once valued at $650 million, has allegedly relied on the leadership of President and Chief Distributing Officer Jeff Clanagan and CFO Eric Stoneburner, who are non-black, to oversee operations while Hart has subsided his involvement. Clanagan has also alleged to have pushed employees to move towards AI-generated projects. What's good at kind of time? I see you. Salute to everybody that's here. See, D, what's up? And Tula was good. One and only was good. As recent as December of 2025, a round of layoffs occurred within Heartbeat, which led to members of the company's scripted division, marketing and brand partnerships, and social media being terminated. Former employees Eric Eddings and Leslie Guam were previously on board to develop audio podcasts, which did not involve the actor and comedian, but were fired by Clanagan after it was discovered that they had planned to launch their own production company. That is some sneaky shit. That is sneaky. You know what I'm saying? But if they would have been upfront and honest, but you can't work for a company and then be secretly trying to build something on the side, right? You're going to get fired every time. Hart alleged that the production duo had partaken in theft of trade secrets and breach of contract. A judge has thrown out the claim in preliminary injunction, called it vague, ambiguous, and overly broad. They wanted to justify why they fired these two. Now, this is according to them. They could have fired them because they didn't want them there, and they just came up with an excuse to fire them. That's probably what it was. They probably came up with an excuse to fire them, right? Also fired in recent years were Heartbeat's former TV division heads Tiffany Brown and Mike Stein, who were midway through producing a TV adaptation of 2000's comedy film Barbershop, along with the second season of a BET Plus animated show Lil Kev. Upon the launch of Heartbeat, the company merged with Laugh Out Loud LOL Productions to create film and TV short form video and advertising projects. Although Hart was to occasionally star in Heartbeat programming, the plan was for the company to have longevity without him being frequently attached. Well, you gotta hire talented people. Not only do you have to handle hiring talent in front of the camera or in front of the microphone, you also have to hire talent behind the scenes. And if you don't have an eye for talent, you're gonna fold. You're gonna fail every single time. You have to have an eye for talent. And Kevin Hart does not have an eye for talent, because if he did, he would have found success in some of these areas, and it just seemed like he didn't, because he does not have that eye for talent. This is why he was ranting about, Kai Cenat and others being successful without spending millions of dollars, right? He talked about how the movie studios are spending hundreds of millions of dollars, and these streamers are making millions of dollars, and all they have is a microphone, and a camera. The Bloomberg report was published around the same time as Netflix's roast of Kevin Hart was made available to stream. The special featured entertainers Cat Williams, Tom Brady, Pete Davidson, and Chelsea Handler. Oh, the who's who of white people. Kevin Hart is Hollywood through and through. That's why people don't think he's funny. This is why people think Kevin Hart has lost touch. Like, they really do. They think he's lost touch because they see the people who he brings in, the people he works with, and they just don't think that he really understands who his audience is, or maybe he's trying to appeal to certain people. But Kevin Hart is a guy whose identity, he doesn't really have a comedic identity. I think he wants to appeal to a broader audience, but I think he believes that he can appeal to black audiences. I just don't think it works out very well in his favor. Let's see. There are some people upset because George Floyd got made fun of in the roast. Again, we're talking about Kevin Hart trying to appeal to white audiences. And that's what this is for. This is why you have a guy like Tony Hinchcliffe. I mean, come on, bro. Why is he so liked by the comedic community? White people love this guy. I guess because he makes fun of black. I don't know. Right? But this is the type of things that Kevin Hart is going through right now. He's getting called out by, Steven Jackson, others, Michael Che. I mean, listen, man, I hope Kevin Hart can bounce back, but this man signed his life away. He signed his life away. So whenever they need him to do something, he got to do it. Like, what would make it, was it that bad, Kevin, that you just signed everything away? So now you're really a puppet. If you wasn't a puppet before, you're really a puppet now, because that's how it looks. It really looks like you're just a puppet right now. So I hope it works out, and that Heartbeat company is probably going to cease to exist probably very soon, because that company was just ran poorly, and it was too big too soon. They should have built it slowly. You build the company slowly until it gains real value, right?